The fact of the matter was and is and will remain this way with this person, that they have an agenda for their life, and it usually runs on the pleasure zones, led by what the Bible describes as deceitful lusts, which come from our sinful nature, a nature that's working inside us against us to do good for ourselves. It won't allow us to do good for ourselves. It interferes and tries to destroy anything constructive that we're trying to do. And this then begins to undermine our faculties, in the sense that we know something's wrong when we've got a partner like this, but our faithfulness and loyalty, or some people call it a trauma bond, holds us in a holding pattern in the relationship that causes us to be unable to adhere to our standards in a way in which we're able to protect ourselves from this person. A few mozzies around this morning. As this person degenerates and you notice that really their agenda has nothing to do with a healthy relationship, they're just being led by their deceitful lusts, this begins to aggravate you, it begins to torment you. You begin to realize that this whole situation that you're in is not aligned with a healthy, proper relationship. It is a situation where you're just running around meeting the needs and the lusts and the desires of this person. It's not love. It's calculated. They'll try and condition you to continue on the path where you're putting up with torment, frustration, calculated distance and voids where these people are making time to avoid you, because the fact of the matter is they don't know how to cope with someone being around too long that's possibly not as toxic as what they are, that has standards. And your standards, if you try and implement them, will work on the conscience of the sinful person or the narcissistic person, because they've got to follow and adhere to their master, which is their old man, their sinful nature. And this sinful nature comes second to no one when it's got a hold on a human being. It runs second to no one. It's just how it works. And as they wither in the relationship, as they micro-incrementally start to destroy their relationship, you're in it, you're now the new supply, and you're in it. If you start to apply some standards, they'll like that at first, because then that acknowledges to them that they have someone that has principles. This will give them a sense of security in knowing that you are not probably not going to betray or harm or disrupt their position in your life. This is when they'll probably throw some kind of spanner in the works to threaten the future of the relationship. What this does is give them the ability to measure where you actually are in it, how much influence they have over you, and what their value is to you. And sometimes this can backfire on them. They get left behind, but they're willing to take that chance. If they do get left behind, they will panic. There'll be a panic, and as a result of that panic, they will hoover or recontact you. Sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry, I do love you. Sorry, life ain't the same without you. And grovel, if possible, their way back into your life, into a relationship with you. In narcissistic language, that's called hoovering. You're being sucked back in. Putting it in common language. Their feigned breakup didn't go as planned. You had standards, so you didn't fall for it. You just got rid of them. You just played along with it, and this showed how stupid these people are. You played along with it, and they ended up in a breakup, thinking that you wouldn't break up. So they come back and grovel and, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, I made a mistake, you're the one for me, I love you, I can't live without you, I miss you, life ain't the same without you, blah 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 blah. And so they get their foot back in the door and start the cycle of trying to manipulate and control you into what they want you to be, which strokes their ego and gives them that sense of power. And this time they realize they're going to have a job on their hands with you, because you're not your normal person that falls for an attractive person and has to have them. You're going to live by your standards, not by the charisma and looks of somebody who has come along. You're going to adhere to your standards, and this gives the narcissist, or the sinful person, the person that runs on their pleasure zones, faculties, their sinful nature, a bit of a challenge. Now, they'll be up for the challenge at the start. They'll play along with what they believe to be the game, and what they don't understand is hopefully you will live by your standards. But as they're doing this, they're grooming you, they're entraining you with just micro incremental challenges and adaptations. They're trying to get you to adaptate to their negligences. And as they sense you adapting or putting up with their personal preferences, their dysfunctions, they then get a sense that they are winning the battle to be able to get you to come across to how they want you to be. Now, hopefully while this is happening, you're starting to realize that something isn't right. And the way that you deal with this is, if the person isn't resolving the thing that isn't right, then you need to start to detach according to the things that aren't right. When things aren't right, that's the signal to detach, or what people call a red flag. And when there's red flags, you don't push in, you detach. You move away from that person. You say to yourself, this person isn't healthy. there's something wrong. They're not listening, and I need to detach, break up, go no contact, and remain that way until I heal and find somebody more compatible.